Okay, I can do that.
You men have a good day today?
Yes, yes we did. I
You're welcome.
had a bunch of running to do, and then I got home and I've been working on some electrical issues. and-
Finally had a sunshiny day.
Yeah,
All good.
finally had a chance to fix some electrical stuff and it's not raining.
It's 4 o'clock, we'll start the meeting, cover the pledge of allegiance to the flag, if you will.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now then, we have representatives from Commonwealth Engineering,
Yes, you do.
and we've agreed to give you some time to, you've been back again.
Right. I think that he just probably is going to ask you a couple questions, make sure that all the bases are touched. So, in short order, this is Eric Parsley. He's our engineer that's going to be, should we get this, be helping work on this project.
Thank you, board, for your time tonight.
Or the chair, if you'd like.
Okay, got some cards here, I'll just pass out to you.
Dan, as captain.
Thank you, Eric.
Dan's kept you in the loop. If it's
Yeah,
okay, I'll-
yeah.
Yeah, have a seat.
Okay.
Well, we've been meeting regularly, so
Well, I understand, and I appreciate your time. I'm, as Dan said, I'm Eric Parsley. I'm a licensed professional engineer. I'm the vice president at Commonwealth Engineers. I run our Evansville office. And we've been in business for 40 years. This year marks our 40th year at Commonwealth. And our primary business is water and sewer systems for cities and towns.
Okay.
We work with small communities all throughout the state, and like I said, I primarily focus on the communities in the southern region of the state. We have offices in Evansville, Indianapolis, and Fort Wayne.
So Evansville being the closest.
Evansville being the closest. Yeah, I'm doing work in Huntingburg and some other areas around here, so I would be the one that would be coming up and visiting with you
you
guys.
met with Doug and
Yeah.
toured the,
Met with Doug and got to tour your wonderful facilities out there.
Is that the word you want?
it's about the same age as your company.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that's kind of how our company started. We had some engineers that had been doing other types of engineering work when the Clean Water Act took effect, and a lot of the need came for smaller communities to have to build sewer plants and sewers and water systems. That was kind of what the genesis of Commonwealth essentially was. So, about the same year I was born, so but that's how it works. So, well, Dan's filled me in on a few things, and I don't want to waste your time here. But we did get the request for qualifications, and we will be submitting on that. We're very excited about the opportunity to do that. Recognize that you guys have quite a few needs with the town, namely the sanitary sewer overflow. That is, you have an agreed order to address that. One of the places that we feel like we provide kind of a little bit of a unique service to some of our competitors is that we have 2 regulatory specialists on staff that were former IDEM people. One of them is Don Larson, and he actually was a division head at IDEM back in the early 80s and has been with us since he left IDEM. Under Brady Dreyer, which we just picked up a couple years ago, Brady's kind of been tapped to be Don's replacement when he transitions to retire in the next 5 years or so. But those guys are at IDEM every day. They've got good relationships with the different people in the water departments over there primarily. We're very familiar with negotiating favorable terms for helping people to comply with agreed orders and in the most cost-effective manner that you can. I mean, those things just oftentimes those projects are larger than anything you can take in one big chunk. We see a common plan that kind of mimics what happens in combined sewer overflow communities. communities that have systems that were designed to convey both stormwater and sanitary sewage. What they have developed for them is going to be a 20-year plan that they'll put together where they will do projects and then assess how effective that project is before they determine what the next project would be. Something similar like that may be appropriate to address the SSO issue that you guys have here as well. One good thing about it that Doug was sharing with me is that it is a pumped overflow, so we would have good numbers to know what volume we would have to deal with starting today if the system behaves the way it continues to behave now. Just to kind of talk a little bit about your project and what you're facing here, it reminds me very similar to another community that we work in, which is Hofstad, Indiana, down near the intersection of 64 to 41. Hofstad has a plant that is very similar in design to your plant. They are a sanitary sewer system, not a combined sewer system. But when it rains in Hofstad, their flows are 10 times what they are during dry weather. Just an amount of flow that's unfathomable to deal with. They had used a couple other engineers before we got involved. They had sized some equalization tanks that weren't at adequate size. They had kind of guessed on what the size was going to be, and they didn't do it properly. We came in more with an approach of a little bit more study in the system to develop a good number. We added to their plant capacity as well as to their equalization volume, and they've been able to effectively handle those flows now for a number of years. We've had that treatment plant in place for a number of years. We have now entered into a phase with them where we're going back and doing rehab work in the system to try to also reduce that 10-to-1 peaking ratio. You might think, well, should you have done that first and then reduce the facilities? Well, we would have liked to, but we were getting a lot of pressure to deal with that overflow situation right away. We also knew from our experience in going in and doing inflow and infiltration reduction work that a lot of times you don't reduce as much as you would like to be able to reduce. You would hope you could reduce the amount that would get you off of that overflow, but oftentimes it just doesn't really happen because you may be able to address all the problems in your mains, and you may have the tightest sewer main lines as a new system. But if the laterals are bad between the house and the main, if you've got inherent sump pumps people will have hooked up to keep their basements dry, you'll have gutter drains hooked up. Those things are really hard to get corrected, to get off the system, and to keep off the system. I was smoke testing with the city of Rockport a number of years ago, and the operator was adamant about not needing to test this one section because he'd already gotten gutter drains removed on that street. We threw a smoke bomb in anyway, and sure enough, one of them that he had seen removed was smoking again. You know, the person had come out and re-hooked it up. And, you know, you point to the people and you blame them, but then you got to think they don't have any, that's what they're used to. That's the way things have always been. Yeah, you need to get those addressed, but those things are hard to keep off the system. So we've got to be realistic about what you're going to be addressing. So, I don't have the silver bullet to tell you what the correction is for your facility. I haven't gone out and spent about 30 minutes earlier today
Wasn't much time.
looking at it, but it does exhibit similar problems to what we see with some of our other clients, and I think we're in a great position to help you move forward. The process really it's not voodoo. It doesn't have to be complicated moving forward through these things. It's just a series of steps and iterations that we go through frequently. Our approach is that this is not Commonwealth's project. This is Odon's project. Every town has their own sets of priorities and needs. Everybody obviously is faced with financial problems, but that's not for me to assess the importance of those things. That's for my role is basically to provide you with the information that you need to make the best decisions that you guys can to kind of hold the people that put you in the position that you're in. So I can certainly provide guidance. My what I enjoy doing is letting you know the pros and cons of making certain decisions, but it's your decision to make, it's not mine. You may decide, hey, we're not gonna do this because we're gonna try to keep costs down, but then recognize that that may be more work that these guys are having to do.